Good morning, everyone. I'm just sitting out here taking a few minutes in the sun. The sun is out. It's warm out. It was really cold this morning, but it really feels good. And so I came out here to kind of read some of my Foxfire book. Um, I'm also doing another read right now that I'm going to be reading at night. So this I'll be reading because I can read it in little sections during the day in between chores. So we're on the first Foxfire book. I'm just skipping through and just brushing up on some things that I already know or have an idea about, and then I will go back and read things that I have no idea about. So I am kind of keeping, a journal of what I've been reading. Um, and so I'm going to read a little bit of this with you and kind of go over it a little bit with what knowledge I know. I'm also reading I Swear Politics is Messier Than My Minivan. It's by Katie Porter. Um, she is a Democrat. Um, and right now she is a congresswoman, but she's running for Senate this coming year. She's out of California. She was born and raised in Iowa on a farm. So she has a lot of farm experience in that area of the country. And then she moved to California. She is an amazing woman. I mean, she's an amazing woman. And whether you believe or acknowledge her political side, she's done a lot of great things for the people in California, which also benefits the whole United States when things are passed that other states are working on. So, anyway, Katie Porter's I Swear Politics is Messier Than My Minivan. I am reading that. I will give a review once I'm finished. It's going to be my nighttime reader, but this is going to be my daytime reader because I can read little sections at a time. So let's just get on with it, right? Okay, now they're talking about hunting animals in here, and possums, and they wrote it possum because that's what we call them. We don't call them opossums. Would that mean they're oppossi? I don't know. So anyway, I personally would never eat a possum unless it is like the last ditch effort of getting nutrition in my body. That would be the one of the total last animals on my list because possums are so nasty. Now, when we coon hunted, we also would skin out possums that our dogs would tree um, in the midst of coon hunting and sell the furs. And I mean, you could get like $5 a piece for them. They really do have pretty fur. I guess they make good pets if you want to go that route. I know that they have the most teeth of any North American animal, and they are our only marsupial. Other than that, I think they're nasty. We do have one that comes out here. His name is Ray because he is blind, and I haven't seen him in a while. Um, but he used to come out here and eat, and I got some video of him a couple of times. But anyway, possums I would not eat, so I'm not even going to talk about hunting them. If you want to eat possums, I would say put. I've had lots of luck with, the have a heart trails. I'm just making sure that hawk's not killing my babies. Anyway, it's driving me crazy. Put a can of cat food in there or a tuna or something, you'll get a possum. I have caught a few cats around here. Of course, I release them. I have caught some coons that way, but the possums, I've caught a lot of them that way. So I don't think I need a coon hound to hunt a possum. Not going to do it. Coons are probably not an animal that I would eat right away either. It's lower. It's lower on the list of animals in the wild that I would eat. It is a little higher than possums. Now, I don't even want to go into the detail of the things I've seen possums doing, and my husband has told me he's seen possums doing, so I'm not really going to go into that detail. But coons are probably, um, they're low. They're low down there on the animal eating list. Just saying. Um, Now we coon hunted with dogs. Now a lot of people used traps, leg hold traps on creek. sides. I don't like leg hold traps because you're bound to catch something that you're not trying to get. Now, a lot of the fur trappers were trying to get mink and, you know, coon, fox, things like that. Now, we also hunted fox with other hounds. We had foxhounds and coon hounds growing up, and squirrel dogs. So we always had a hound or a dog that would facilitate whatever hunting we needed to do. My grandfather fur hunted um, to make extra income. And at that point in time, I will say this was it was the late 70s when I started really following him on really big hunts. And then mid 80s, I started looking too fine to be around a group of old men coon hunting. So that was stopped. But anyway, um, coons are probably like one. Now, groundhogs. It is simple matter to find a groundhog burrow in an open field. Again, as with possum, the problem was getting rid of them. Hunters would simply wait until they were feeding, which they do during the day, or sunning beside their holes. If one went into his burrow, the hunter would simply wait several minutes. Okay, my poppy down in Kentucky had a scope, and I think that's how he killed the groundhogs that liked his growing areas. Um, and they would cook them. And I'm going to tell you something. My granny could bake one heck of a groundhog. I can remember the other cousins going, "What is that?" And they were groundhog. Well, I was on top of it. I mean, it didn't matter. I was on top of it. Let me tell you, with the squirrels, I loved squirrels and dumplings, and they also would like cook the skulls with the brains inside of them. I liked that until my other grandfather told me about, and that's when the distemper thing went through, and then no more squirrel brains. But I did eat a lot of squirrel. Um, Rabbit. Now, I know my grandfather had a couple of beagle hounds. I don't think he was a huge rabbit hunter. Pardon me. Um, I do remember us coming out here where I live now, and there was a property owner that had beagle hounds, and we would go and hunt rabbits with them. So that was pretty much our rabbit hunting. Now, I love fried rabbit. I just love it. And I will fight you over the last leg on a plate. Now, when you're hunting with shotguns, this is the problem I have. People either do not do the due diligence of getting all of the shot out of the meat before they cook it, or obviously that's it when you're biting into something and you get that shot in your tooth. To prevent that is to be a better hunter and know how to use a 22 rifle, because you've got one shell, one shot, you're done. Shoot your squirrels in the head, your rabbits in the head, you're good. The meat's not tainted. Um, Same way with fur hunting for possums or coons for hides. A 22 isn't going to destroy that fur. Now, is it legal? Is it illegal? You would have to contact your area to find out. Um, but in my opinion, using a 22 is better for meat and fur than if you're using a shotgun with bird pellet or whatever. Even a 410, you still have the shot coming out, even with bird pellet in it. So I don't like that with meat hunting. That's why squeeze traps have a traps, have a heart traps or whatever they are, if you're wanting wild meat that badly. Now, I would never pick up anything on the side of the road for myself, but for example, if there was a fresh kill, I've seen people, you know, take a deer off the road, process it, cook it up, and feed it to their animals, which I think is right on. Red Wolf Sanctuary is like a rescue center and used to have a lot of red wolves in it. they would come and pick up fresh killed deer all day long and bring them back to the wolves and some of the other carnivores they had. But those were some of the animals they were talking about. Let's see here. What's the other one? Rabbit. We've discussed it, and they're telling you in here a good beagle dog. So deer, hunting deer. I think you have to really be prepared to do that. You know who you're going to be processing, get your license together, find a good spot, and you have to be diligent to be a deer hunter. If you're going to process the meat by yourself, have a place to hang it where nothing can get to it. You have to know these things. And hunting just comes second nature to me. Skinning out an animal is no big deal. I can remember baby daddy, my daughter's dad. I was very pregnant, very pregnant. I had her in February, and I think this was like December, January. He had went quail and rabbit hunting, and he brought 2 quail and 2 rabbit home and threw them in the sink and said, "Now what?" And I just looked at him and says, "You don't know how to skin them out." Now, granted, I am I'm 20 years old, so I'm 20 years old, and he's throwing this in the sink, going, "What do I do?" Here I am. I go out in the freezing weather to the water spigot and I show him how to clean a rabbit and a quail. And then I walked away. I was like, "You can clean the other two." "Well, then what do I do?" I said, "You put them in salt water, soak them, and then we'll freeze them." I mean, come on, dude. I'm 20 years old. You're older than me. You're the one that went hunting and you don't know what to do with them. Well, that's all I got. Just a little hunting. Y'all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. Remember, don't eat gross stuff. Ew. Bye, y'all.